See how Kent State students organized a response to a, quote, hate speech display targeting the existence of transgender individuals.
And the director of Ohio's lottery system has stepped down suddenly. Portage Pulse will tell you why.
Another bid has been announced for the 2024 Ohio Senator race. Stay with us to see who announced this bid. All this and more as Portage Pulse starts right now. Good afternoon, Portage County. Welcome to this week's episode of Portage Pulse. I'm Nikki Gasiewski.
And I'm Joe Malbin.
A new petition combating the, quote, hate speech against transgender people is gaining traction at Kent State. The petition titled, Stop the Hate Speech from Kent State Republicans, comes in response to the club painting What is a Woman on the Rock on Hilltop Drive. The petition was started by senior Marina DeFranco and has gathered over 2,000 signatures. DeFranco is working with the May 4th Task Force to reach out to the LGBTQ+ Center to raise awareness.
And on March 31st, the Portage County Sheriff's Department released a statement warning about the increased amount of drug overdoses in the community. According to the statement, unintentional drug overdose death is on the rise due to an increase in the use of fentanyl. The Sheriff's Department warns that the drug is highly addictive, odorless, and colorless, and it is being mixed with more common drugs such as cocaine and marijuana.
Ahead of the decision in the Jalen Walker trial, the University of Akron will hold classes online. The university's College of Business will move to remote learning until further notice. All employees who work in the college are asked to work from home for the time being. The City of Akron announced on Thursday they are suspending public access to City Hall and the Justice Center beginning at 5 p.m. today.
And Akron police are looking for help in identifying a man who was caught illegally dumping tires on East Talmadge Avenue on April 1st. Officials suspect that the man may be homeless and possibly living in the area. The man was described by police to have been wearing blue jeans, a red or orange stocking cap, and dark shoes. The Akron police are asking people with information to call them at 330-375-2568 or send the information to their tip line at 330-375-2TIP.
Feeling lucky today? Maybe not. The director of Ohio's lottery, Pat McDonald, resigned suddenly Wednesday. Governor DeWine said the retirement was due to undisclosed medical reasons. Aerospace and Defense Liaison Michelle Gilchrist has been appointed by DeWine to fill the job on an interim basis. McDonald's departure comes as the Ohio Lottery Office is now positioning its rebid for its Central Gaming System contract worth over $90 billion.
And Ohio Attorney General Dave Yost is issuing a new warning about the death penalty. In a report released by Yost's office, the Attorney General states that the cost of keeping 128 inmates on death row may be costing the state anywhere from $128 million to up to $384 million. Yost advises that Ohioans should make one of two decisions, either overhaul the death penalty to make it effective or end it.
Republican decision in Ohio's Senate creates conflict over Ohio's constitutional and potential amendments. Ohio's Republicans are supporting an amendment that would make the threshold for future constitutional changes to 60% of voters. Members of both parties appear to be against changing the threshold. Speaker Jason Steffens says, I'm not for changing the rules willy-nilly at whim when it comes to changing our Constitution.
And Ohio Republican J.R. Majewski has announced his plan to run for Congress against Democratic Representative Marcy Kaptur. Majewski ran in 2020, where he lost to Kaptur. The Port Clinton candidate was backed by former President Donald Trump and previously worked in the nuclear power industry. To the surprise of many, Majewski was the winner of last year's Republican primary for the Toledo area 9th Congressional District.
Businessman Bernie Moreno files 2024 Senate bid. Moreno is the second Republican to challenge current Senator Sherrod Brown. He previously ran for Senate in 2022, but dropped out of the race ahead of the primary. His decision to drop out came due to current Senator J.D. Vance getting former President Donald Trump's endorsement. Other potential candidates for Senate include Representative Warren Davison and Secretary of State Frank LaRose.
And former Ohio businessman Vivek Ramaswamy sat down recently to discuss his presidential run in 2024. The Republican candidate is the former CEO of a drug company. Ramaswamy announced he wants to replace the FBI and IRS and plans on ending affirmative action. The Cincinnati native said, quote, I'm running because I want to take that American First agenda to the next level.
A visit to Ireland.
Now that a suspect has been arrested in the case of leaking classified U.S. military documents, keep watching to discover the charges he faces.
And coming up, hear about how Russia is moving its tactical nuclear weapons to Belarus.
Tomorrow's news leaders.
Today's top stories.
From an award-winning student newsroom.
This is TV2 News, truly Portage County.
Welcome back. Montana is close to becoming the first state to completely ban TikTok. Thursday, lawmakers in Montana's House passed a bill to ban TikTok from operating in the state. A final House vote will take place today before the bill goes to Republican Governor Greg Gianforte. Gianforte has previously banned TikTok on government devices. Montana's bill will not take effect until January 2024.
Well, a Florida man has been sentenced to 8 months in prison for his role in the January 6th insurrection. 62-year-old Howard Adams was sentenced after pleading guilty to the felony charge of interfering with law enforcement officers during a civil disorder. Adams ignored officers' orders to leave the Capitol building, as well as made contact with an officer who tried pushing him toward the exit door.
This past week, President Joe Biden has been making several appearances outside of the U.S. as he continues to perform his presidential duties.
Our reporter Skylar Edington has the latest on Biden's travels and more. Skylar?
Hi guys, yes, President Joe Biden has been very busy recently after traveling overseas to Ireland. While American presidents can be a touch-and-go subject in their home countries, other countries often seem to be their biggest fans. After President Joe Biden made his way overseas to Ireland, many citizens gathered on the streets to catch a glimpse of him and to cheer him on. Shops were flooded with signs of the smiling president, and there was even a poster that read, "2024, make Joe president again."
I come to Belfast to pledge to all the people of Northern Ireland, the United States of America will continue to be your partner in building the future the young people of our world deserve. It matters to us, to Americans, and to me personally. It genuinely matters if you've traveled my country.
There has been more news circling Joe Biden after he recently expanded many migrants' health care access. The president announced Thursday that he will be implementing access to Medicaid and the Affordable Care Act for immigrants brought to the U.S. illegally as children. Biden stated in a video that they're American in every way except for on paper, and we need to give dreamers the opportunities and support they deserve. The President's Art and Humanities Committee has been busy this week after announcing a slate of several A-list celebrities joining the advisory board. Among the high-profile list is Bruce Cohen and Lady Gaga, serving as the co-chairs with many other celebrities on the committee, such as George Clooney, an award-winning actor. The focus of the group is to do meaningful work that will impact art, libraries, museums, and public humanities work. In other news, Biden has officially ended the COVID national emergency after 3 years, weeks before it was set to expire. While that national emergency was in effect, it allowed the government to take crucial steps to respond to the virus economically and through health and welfare systems. With that being said, many COVID-19 forbearance programs will be coming to a close now as well. If you wish to read more about these stories, you can go to kentwire.com. Reporting for Portage Pulse, I'm Skylar Edington. Back to Nikki and Joe at the desk.
Thanks, Skylar. The suspect accused of leaking classified military documents appeared in court. Massachusetts Air National Guardsman Jake Teixeira appeared in court to face charges under the Espionage Act. He's believed to be the leader of the Discord chat that leaked the information since December. The Pentagon has announced it will conduct a review of its intelligence access accountability and control procedures.
Well, potential jurors in an upcoming defamation trial against Fox News were questioned on if they were viewers of the network. The trial is seeking to hold Fox News accountable for reportedly spreading false claims about the 2020 election. Jurors were also questioned on if they had any opinion on lawyers Rudy Giuliani and Sidney Powell, who represented former President Trump. The news station is being sued by voting company Dominion.
The Battle of Bakhmut is heating up, according to analysts and Russian officials. Ukrainian forces previously resisted a three-prong attack by the Russians. The UK Minister of Defense said Russia has re-energized its assault on Bakhmut. Ukraine still holds on the western districts of the town. Ukrainian officials say they are buying time by depleting Russian forces while they prepare a counteroffensive in Kyiv.
And last month, Russian leader Vladimir Putin declared that in attempts to discourage the West from getting involved with the Ukraine-Russian conflict, they were going to put some of their tactical nuclear weapons in Belarus. The Russian Defense Ministry announced on Friday that the Belarusian Air Force crews have completed their training to use tactical nuclear weapons. The deployment of tactical nuclear weapons in Belarus puts Russia closer to the Ukraine and NATO members Poland, Lithuania, and Latvia.
Get your gardening gloves on because today is National Gardening Day. Today's holiday was founded in 2018 by the Cool Springs Press.
Gardening goes all the way back to the 1500 BC when forest gardening was popular.
Gardening has drastically evolved from harvesting in the 17th century to a more socialized activity today.
Well, how are you guys going to celebrate today?
I might go pick a flower.
Yeah.
How about you?
I don't have any ideas, but I used to have a garden in our
really?
in our backyard back home. Yeah, did you guys ever have a garden?
Actually, my grandpa has a garden
that's
at
so cool.
his house, so we
Yeah.
have like literally every vegetable thinkable to man
Yeah,
is
mine does too.
homegrown.
I was going to say, I definitely think it's a grandparent thing because my grandma always had like the best garden,
Right.
but my parents do not garden.
Right. Yeah,
Same.
same.
Sorry, Mom.
But
Yeah, I know my parents have. We have a like a smaller garden on
Yeah.
our deck, but
Okay.
that's to the extent of where we
Yeah.
garden. So.
what's your favorite thing out of the garden?
I think peas, because I'll just like
Peas?
pick the pea
Okay,
pod,
that's-
open
yeah.
it.
It's a good pick. It's a good pick. I like
Okay.
carrots.
I like strawberries.
Strawberries. Are good. Strawberries are good.
Yeah. Okay, then, that's all the time we have for this week's edition of Portage Pulse. Thank you for joining us.
For updates on all these stories and more, visit our website at kentwired.com.
And on all social media platforms, I'm Skylar Edington.
I'm Joe Malbin.
And I'm Nikki Gasiewski. Have a great day, Portage County.